Welcome to the stream. I did my whole introduction and then realized that I didn't have any sound linked into OBS. So that would be why. Alright, so I had to create a new scene for... Oxygen Not Included, so in doing that I forgot to add in the audio source. Alrighty, so this is Oxygen Not Included. I have enabled the beta in Steam so that I could get the launch update, which just came out a week or so ago. In the last week, I've worked on a couple of different things. One of those is the finding a reasonable seed. Unfortunately, the method that I had been using when I used to play this game a lot doesn't work because of the launch update. So, I played this game, as we talked about during the stream last night, I played this game for several months last year, from about July last year to the beginning of February this year, and I played through about 5 different updates, and then I kind of left it go. So the last time I played was QOL Mark 1, Quality of Life Upgrade Mark 1, so I didn't play Mark 2 or Mark 3, and this is technically launch update, even though it still says QOL 1. I'm assuming that's because it's still in beta and they haven't bothered to update the artwork yet. And yes, Phasian introduced me to it. So go to his YouTube channel and watch his several series. I think you did 3 or 4 series maybe on it during about the same time window. Interestingly, or whatever, we both quit playing the game about the same time. And we both kind of got through about the same amount of it each time. So I've selected a seed that I like, but before I get to that point, I wanted to kind of look at some of the new features that have either come out since Quality of Update Mark 1 or are in this particular update. I saw there's a colony summaries screen here, which shows colonies that I'm actually not sure what it shows, because these are not my existing colonies. These appear to be some version of default colonies, maybe even ones that you can play. Oh, you know what? These actually could be my colonies. These could be my test colonies. No? They might be. I don't remember. I have no idea what I named them, because I just chose the random names. But I'm assuming as I play this here, this will show a summary of each game that I've played. Each world that I've played on, and kind of how far I got through when I last played it, what achievements I got, whatnot. Which, by the way, I believe the achievements are new since the last time I played. So that's interesting to me. There are mods available. There have been mods for a while, but they've done a lot of work towards upgrading the mod feature, and they're all accessible via the Steam Workshop. I don't think I can click on this and show it to you without a little bit of work, so I'm not going to click on it. But just suffice it to say, there are mods available for this game, and they are in the Steam Workshop. So there are 2 default game modes, Survival and No Sweat. I think I will play Survival, just because No Sweat is very easy to play. Survival, and I think, unless they've changed it, No Sweat's actually only like 1 setting easier on each of the difficulty settings. So unless they've changed it in the last couple of versions, which they could have, to be fair, I'm fine with Survival. I've played this, like I said, 5 or 6 times, so I'm fairly comfortable, even though they've changed a lot. Some of that stuff that they've changed is now, as you're selecting a random world, you could have these sort of optional features to the world here that kind of highlight what the world has in it. So sometimes there's rocks. Interesting, there's a printing pod failed location. There's geodormant, which has fewer geysers and vents. There's boulders, which are chunks of obsidian that you have to dig through. Oh, you don't have to. You could dig around them, but if you want to use that space or go through that space, you have to do it. Frozen core as opposed to a molten core of magma, volcanoes, buried oil, geoactive, so there's more geysers and vents. Yes. Well, you can't. What's weird is you can't actually change these. It just shows you what the features are of the world. Oh, and hey, Sydney, welcome. So if I, oh, that's interesting. Geoactive and geodormant. I'm not sure how that works. Subsurface ocean. So there's now salt water in the game, so you can deal with salt water. There's a desalinization machine that I saw in the patch notes, so that's nice. Magma channels. I remember seeing a couple of other options. Slime molds. Geodes. There's a metallic. There's one that's metal poor. So I have a custom seed, which I'm going to paste into here. The problem may be that... I was afraid of this. They've changed the world gen again. So we're going to go into this a little bit blind. They changed the world gen since 2 days ago. Alrighty, so in addition to Terra, which is the default world, and which is what I'm going to play on, because I haven't played it in a while, they have added about 6 or 7, or maybe 8 different worlds on top of Terra, which was the only one they had before. So I'll just start at the very beginning here. The Badlands. There's a little synopsis here of them each, which is kind of... I think they need to move this screen a little bit because you can't actually read what the synopsis is, and you can't choose the world type from this screen. So there's a little bit of a weird display here. Arborea, Iridio, Verdante, Oasis, Oceana, Rime, Volcania. So I'm going to do Terra. I'm going to take all the defaults, which is the survival mode. I think there are a couple, just like 2 settings in either direction for all of these. And I think if they haven't changed it since the last time I played, the easier mode is just 1 easier than the default. So I'm not worried about it. Frankly depressing. Yeah, some of these are kind of funny. Some morale here. And disease settings. So there's 5 settings for each, centering on the default. I'm not going to enable sandbox mode. I am going to enable stress reactions and care packages. I just forgot something. I actually need to cancel out of the game for a minute and reload it. I need to disable... I had debug mode on, and I need to disable that before we start. So I debug mode on because I was playing... or because I was looking at maps a couple days ago. And I completely forgot to turn it off before we started. I kind of rushed into the stream here a little bit, which is why I started late. So, so I guess we could, since the seed that I picked probably doesn't work anymore, we could just do a random seed, I suppose. Because I have no idea what I'm going to be up against now anyway. And I'm not all that interested in irregular oil. So maybe let's just go through these settings here and find one that we like. I'm not that interested in a bunch of magma. Volcanoes I'm fine with. Geodes, geoactive I'd be fine with. Actually, I would like geoactive. Maybe let's just skip through a few of these. See if we can find one that has some interesting stuff. I'd like metal rich as well. I would not like to have the slime one if I can get away with it. I'm not sure how that works. Fewer geysers and more geysers. I think they probably need to look at that. I'm not interested in miscalculated pod location. I'd rather have it in the dirt biome if I can get away with it. Yeah, this is interesting because this is new since 2 days ago. Because I tested that seed one more time on Monday just to make sure that it was. I think this one's okay. I would like to have had metal and maybe even the salt water, but I think I'll go with this. I mean, I suppose I could grab a copy of this seed just to be safe, and we could page through a few more and see if we can find one that seems more interesting. Metal rich and metal poor. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really interested in the slime mold one. That sounds a little bit rough. Alright, well, if we don't find one in a couple more flips here, I will take the one that I copied. That... No, I think, well... we could do this. I'm afraid that the oil is going to be an issue with this one. But we could do this one. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of too, and I don't really want to deal with slime lung. So, I think we'll do this one. This actually looks like it might be interesting. This frozen core is new, but that's fine. I'm fine with the boulders. They're obsidian, but we can dig through it, and we can use it for something. And it's geoactive, so it's got a little more vents, which I like. I like a lot of vents. I'm hoping for at least one chlorine vent, at least one hydrogen, preferably two, at least two natural gas vents. A metal volcano of some kind would be nice, preferably gold or copper, because you get so much iron in space, or on the edge of space, I should say. And what else? Some oil vents would be good. And some steam, some cool steam would be nice. I think that's about the ones that I'm most interested in. So, we'll try this one. Yes, it is. Or at least it used to be. I'm kind of excited to get into this game because I played this game like crazy until, like I said, until February. And then I think when that came out, that was when the new Eco version dropped, so I went back to that for a little while. And then the new Factorio version dropped, so I went back to that for a while. And I'm just getting back to this now, or to other games kind of now. Alright, so to start with, I'd like to have somebody who can dig. Because you kind of need a miner to start the game with. I'd like somebody who's good at building. I'm not really interested in irritable bowel because I want to get them in and out of the bathrooms as fast as possible. Gastrophobia I would be fine with because that's just, they can't cook, who cares. This one's a digger, so that's good. So this is a maybe. Meban's a maybe. This one I'm okay with. This is actually really good. But for the cook, it's not that great. Because the cook's is not gonna be leaving the base all that often. So it's kind of a who cares. This is new. So you can focus on a job. And apparently one is missing. Which is awesome. I would like a builder. So maybe we could roll for a builder here. We could do flatulent. That would be okay. Cooking is nice to have too as a secondary. We're not gonna do bottomless stomach. I don't want to eat a lot of food. Loud sleeper I don't want. Narcoleptic is okay. I don't really want mole hands. Eventually they'll probably be a miner, but I'd like to have something that could help them out with whatever interest they have. The squeamish would be okay. This would be nice for somebody who's out and about or whatever. Actually, this Ruby here would be a good builder. Yeah, the air consumption one or the flatulence one. So we're gonna sit on this one for a minute. I think usually the third one that I would like to do would be a cook. I think possibly a researcher. Oh, the mole hands, yeah, it would be, but it's okay. Actually, I don't know that I like this person either. I may re-roll them as a different. Let's do a different digger because they didn't like the interior decorator stuff because it's decreased morale bonus and they're gonna be complaining about it all the time. Don't want small bladder. I'm fine with pacifist. Digging, supplying, and operating is okay. Mole hands is great, so this would be a good digger here, Otto. And then, Phasian, what do you usually do a cook first or a researcher first? I kind of waffle back and forth. I guess if somebody had secondary cooking skills, that would be fine. Or if they were a cook with secondary researching, or researcher with secondary cooking, that'd be fine. I'll take a fourth dupe as soon as I can get one anyway. So, maybe cooking. That's not bad. But they cannot do researching. Yeah, that's not going to be good. Narcoleptic would be okay. Strength isn't necessary that good, but they can clean on their off time, and they can do cooking and researching. Yeah, well, this one's actually good, though, because they do both cooking and researching at the same level. So this isn't bad. They could do both jobs pretty easily. All right, so since Ruby's wearing a red shirt... Yeah, you can. You're right. Since Ruby's wearing a red shirt, guess who Ruby's going to become? Peps. And then we need a Phasian. So you can be the blonde guy. And I see Sydney's here. So Sydney can be the one with the purple streaks in her hair. That looks good. So Phasian, you get to be a miner, which you did a few times in Eco. So we'll put you to work mining. Apparently Peps doesn't like to be a doctor, which is fine because he can be a fighter instead, an attacker when we need to attack, which is good because he's a red shirt. Are you Lucy now? Alrighty, so let's see. Name the colony. I usually like to just look at the random names and go with it. I'm not that great at coming up with names. So, Dorky League, that's a good one for us. What do you think? I usually like to come up with, like, do one of the science fiction-y ones. Let's see. That one's kind of fun. You can work an ugly cry, huh? Let's see. That one's not bad. That one's kind of funny, too. I think I've done one of those before. Galactic Abyss. That sounds kind of fun. Oh, you're right. You're right. It wasn't Lucy. It was... Oh, gosh. Was it Charlie Brown's sister? Oh, my wife's asleep, otherwise... Was it Frida? Yeah, we could do Wally's World, but, I don't know. I like coming up with the science fiction-y names. So, and I like the Galactic Abyss. That's kind of... Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, it wasn't Sally. Alright, yeah, you're right. I think it was Frida. We'll go with Frida. It wasn't Sally, though, you're right. We'll go with Galactic Abyss, because who knows, they might end up in an abyss by the end of this playthrough. Alrighty, so let's embark. Alrighty. So let's see if I can remember all my shortcut keys here. So, alert! I've woken at my target location, but my colonization efforts have already hit a hitch. My printing pod was meant to land on the planet's surface, but became trapped many miles underground instead. Although the conditions are not ideal, it's imperative that I establish a colony here and begin mounting efforts to escape. So it's interesting, they've changed the backstory. In Phasian, you can probably confirm this, the backstory previously, at least while we were playing, 6 months ago or so, was that you woke up without any idea what was going on and where you were. So they've changed it before? I did not know that. As far as I recall, when I was playing, it was always the same, but I may have just ignored it after the first couple of times. I don't know. Could be. So we'll begin. Alrighty, so they're already yelling at me to do stuff. Shortcut key for build is G. I think I can cut into here and get into that. We can start... They need some illumination to grow. They're whining about a bathroom already. They're whining about an oxygen diffuser already. But the first things we need to do is just dig. Just dig. This is all new. We're gonna have to figure this out pretty soon. But I think we need to wait until... Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we have to wait until we get... Probably still get the... Yeah, until we get the jobs board for this. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably what it is then. They change it enough, and I've just forgotten it. Alrighty, so usually I like to kind of build squarely. That is a word. We're gonna need to get at this water pretty soon. 3, 4, 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go ahead and dig over here to the water. Let the builder do some building. Well, they're all gonna be building because, yeah. There's already carbon dioxide here, which I'm hoping will eventually settle out in the bottom. Although with this lip here, it probably won't right away. Alright, dig away, guys. What are you climbing up there for? That's crazy talk. We need to start clearing out some of this copper ore, so we're not going to do that much of it yet. So, the first things I'd like to do... I need an outhouse pretty fast. Over here would be good for the outhouse because it's kind of out of the way. It'll probably get moved 2 or 3 times, but that's okay. Let's see, we do need a wash basin sometime soon. Go ahead and build that. Triage cot, massage table, we don't need anytime soon. We'll need some cots eventually, but they can sleep the first night on the ground. Left extreme to this CO2 pocket here. Yeah, that's true. I can dig a tunnel or whatever, a shaft down there. And then we'll need a research station pretty soon, but we need to deal with power first. Before we can have a research station, we need a manual generator, a battery, and a research station. They need to build this stuff first, though, so I'm going to give it a little bit higher priority. Because if they don't have a bathroom, that'll be a problem later. So, a few things that I should probably highlight for those who haven't seen the game before. This is oxalite. It's a mineral that contains high concentrations of oxygen, and when it's exposed to atmosphere, it emits the oxygen and replenishes your base's oxygen supply, which is a little bit handy. Because oxygen to start the game is kind of non-existent, because you need an oxygen diffuser, but there's nothing in the oxygen menu here. You need to build some floor tiles underneath here. I'm going to build every other one to start with. That way they can hop across. Who's suffocating already? Oh, geez, Phasian. Good lord. Can't take you anywhere. Get out of there. Jump. There you go. Okay. Since you've almost drowned yourself, we'll put in a pitcher pump here and a ladder here. The reason for the ladder is because I'd eventually like to get somebody to dig down here and square this corner out so that we can get access to all of the water in here. We won't need it for a while, though. Alright, good. Phasian, you can go and do the water thing. Peps is in the red shirt. Phasian, you shouldn't be trying to die already. Let's put in some storage containers. Of course I did. I'm remembering all of my shortcuts. That's pretty good. You're going to die in the first 5 minutes. It's still cycle 1 here. By the way, I kicked the speed up to medium. I can't really play on slow. They move too slow. And I will play sometimes on fast, but largely not. Let's see. Ooh, that's nicer. You can zoom out. You can kind of see a little bit more here. Alright, so we could start with food. We'll need that fairly soon, but not really soon. We do have the microbe musher, I think, already. Assuming because it's not here. We could go with power, but we don't really need the jumbo battery yet. Water cooler, we don't need yet. We don't need the apothecary. We don't need to deal with piping liquids yet. Gases neither. Decor will be pretty soon. I think we'll probably go with food. The compost. Compost would be nice to have. The all... Want to be careful with this, though. There are a few things you don't want in your base's storage, but we probably haven't gotten any of those yet. Algae is safe, yeah. Okay, so I'm just storing everything right now in the bins. So, Phasian, you are now hard at work with storage and using the bathroom. The job board, you're right. Where is the job board at here? Have you sent on food? See, where did you see it? Did they take it out? Did they do something different? Gotta be pretty early on, the first couple of... I would think the first couple of tiers. I'm not seeing it. New power machine. Are you seeing it someplace? I don't see it in the menu either. Let's see. Job? Okay, well we need to go to the skill screen and see how we do this then. They can't get a job. I can't click these. Maybe there is no such thing anymore. Maybe they just have to get these skill points because it says not enough skill points for Peps to learn improved construction or take improved construction 1. So this is more like skill pointy stuff as opposed to anything else. So I think we just need to wait until they gain some skill points here. Doing generic stuff. Yeah, because Peps has 400 out of 3,000 experience. Yeah, you guys are all in the 400s here. Peps is leading the charge as the chief red shirt. Alrighty, so while they're doing that stuff, let's dig out some more here. Put some more tiles down. I'll leave one space just for airflow. Yeah, it must be a default thing now, which is kind of nice. Not having the job board. You guys are camping out on the floor tonight. Yeah, having your dupes have a higher than 2 block place to climb is not a good plan unless you are putting in ladders as you're doing it. So kind of keep that in mind as you play. I'll put a ladder in right here. The ladders will also get moved a lot, but that's okay. Take that much out, but not the rest yet. I don't want to break that just yet. Yeah. And Phasian, you've locked yourself into a hole again. Alright, we can't take you anywhere. Somebody come over here and dig Phasian out. Good lord. Guess I shouldn't have had you build a floor. We figured Peps would be the first one to die. Turns out, not so much. Well, probably. A ration box. You can hold the pinch of peppernut, which don't exist yet. We need to auto-harvest some stuff here. I'm going to turn the auto-harvest on for everything. Then reach for now. Mealworms are tasty. Meal lice. Hey, Jaron. Welcome. Good to see you. Partying late tonight, huh? And I'm definitely going to dig up into here because there are some good tasty plants up here. And there's lots of oxygen up here. So I just want to keep shoving the oxygen down. There's a vacuum down here, which is great for carbon dioxide storage. A bit of hydrogen down there for some crazy. But we can dig our way down into there. We dug up a few of those muck roots. The problem with muck roots is they don't grow back. So now that we've harvested them, we're kind of we're just gonna get to eat them and move on. But that's okay because we have quite a few of them. 7,200 calories worth. So that's quite a bit. Ready? Dig away. I want to make this into the bedroom, so hopefully somebody will come over here and dig this out. Right. Search complete. We now have algae terrarium, compost, planter box, and ration box. We already had a ration box, but now we can build more if we wanted to. Planter box is useful because we're going to have to really quick start working on some farming of the meal lice. I think maybe we'll do this colony development because that leads towards advanced research. It's got some tails off of it. We don't really need the electric grill or any of that stuff yet. Even the farm tiles we don't need yet. Power would be okay to get. We could definitely do. I'll definitely want to do decor maybe right after this colony upgrade one. So research away, Sydney. I wanted to click and drag with my mouse. So these mealwoods are going to die as soon as this oxalite runs out of oxygen. Because once the oxalite runs out of oxygen, it disappears. Alright, you can keep digging out here. I'm going to make this into our temporary bedroom here. Build the cots. Once we get them, do we get them? Furniture, cot, yes. We got new stuff. We got compost. Put the compost over here with the algae. That's a good place for compost, I suppose. But the compost I put usually on the other side of the outhouses. You need to dump the waste from the outhouses into the compost pit. So we'll want to deal with the compost soon. We'll need a place to get rid of the waste soon. The planter box, we can start putting those down pretty quick here. And the same thing with the ration box. I don't remember now. Do the seeds for the mealwood. Seeds. Mealwood seeds. Properties. No. Mealwood. There we go. They need... Good, they can live in carbon dioxide. So we can put them down here. That's great. Great news. Great news. Yekborg is Yaron. He sneakily told me the other day after the follow. Go ahead and build a microbe musher. It requires power. I think I'll put it right here next, for now, right here next to the electricity that we have. Because we're going to need to smash some stuff here. Good, you all found a place to sleep tonight. Who's somebody snoring? Are you? Oh, this bug, the shine bug's keeping us awake. Alright, we need to get rid of the shine bug. Sorry about that, guys. Crazy shine bugs. What else do we have here? Ration box. We don't need another ration box, at least not yet. And the algae terrarium is would be useful once we run out of oxalite. I'm not gonna worry about it just yet. Let's see. Yes, we're working on food. We're working on it. Relax. Good job for Phasian there, running in the hamster wheel. Ready? And we see we just lost one tile of oxalite here. Going to replace it with a floor tile right now. Yeah, they got a little better from what I remember in QOL 1. But they are also very expensive water-wise from what I remember. We can look at that. So they require 300 grams per second of water and 30 grams per second of algae to produce 40 grams per second of oxygen. And they produce polluted water. Polluted water is not necessarily a bad thing. Once we get... Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is down in the CO2 to kind of eat that up. Once we get the what are they called? Deodorizers? The polluted water is actually not a bad thing because it'll off-gas polluted oxygen, and the deodorizers will convert that into oxygen. So you kind of get a double dip with this. Whereas the oxygen diffuser uses power instead of water, uses quite a bit more algae, but also produces quite a bit more oxygen. But less oxygen per algae. So they're kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other, I suppose. These are definitely more efficient or more voluminous, I guess. But the algae terrarium is good for this part of the game because you don't need power. So I'm going to actually put one down here in the carbon dioxide as Phasian indicated. I will also put one down here once we cut this open. But for now, I don't need to. Right, we need to do another research. Decor needs to be an early research in this game now. Ever since they changed the morale system, it's kind of gotten bad. Can't do lice loaf yet because we don't have enough meal lice made. Let's see what we got for calories. But I don't necessarily want to start on the mush bars yet, because mush bars are dirt and water, and they're kind of gross. I mean, they're really gross. They're -1 food quality. So, alrighty, here's our first extra duplicant. Let's see what this... I'm going to pause the game for a second. Hey, I turned that tag on. I'm allowing backseat gaming. On this. Not on Factorio. Peps can keep himself quiet. Since you're a named character in this game, you are welcome to backseat game. Alrighty, so... Skills takes us here, which we still can't use. We can choose a blueprint, so we can choose to pick a colonist or a care package, I believe. Here's some imperatives, which are kind of like achievements, it looks like. Surviving at least 200 cycles. Hopefully I'll be able to pull that off. Morale rating of 16. Having 12 duplicates. I actually like 12. 12 is a good number for me. Kind of as a balance. So that shouldn't be a problem. And then a great monument. Those are new. I have not seen a great monument yet, so that'd be interesting. And that is interesting there. Send a duplicate on a one-way mission to the furthest star map destination. That's interesting. And then you can see the colony summary apparently here. Yes. So everyone is 2 cycles old. Surprising. You can see kind of where you're at achievement-wise. You can watch apparently a replay video. You can see some graphs here, which is kind of... We'll have to look at this in a few cycles once we actually have some data here. But that's pretty cool. Some new stuff here. They've definitely made some good progress towards... And that's kind of the double... I guess double entendre or whatever of the name of the last 3 updates before this one, being quality of life. It is of course the duplicant's quality of life, but it's also the player's quality of life. They've added a lot of new stuff that helps the player as much as it helps the characters. Alrighty, so we have another cook here. We have a farmer. That wouldn't be a bad idea. And then we have somebody who's interested in ranching, doctoring, and decorating. I'm not interested really in those 3 at this point. Look at Narcoleptic is the least bad to me of these 3 bad traits. That's really good. This one has excavation, which could be useful if we need to really do some digging. And germ resistance would be nice. And a cook's not a bad thing to have here because we have the one who can do cooking and researching. So this one's actually not a bad plan. Since this is such a good cook, and he was also such a good cook in our many community games of Eco, we're gonna name this one after one of our fearless leaders, Calidorn. I threatened that I was going to name a character after him, a duplicate after him. This one kind of is suitable, given the cooking and his affinity for cooking in almost every Eco server we did as a community. So we're gonna go with Calidorn here. Right, unpause. Build you a cot before we get too far. Ooh, skill points available. Ooh, Calidorn came with this. So that's interesting. So the new dupes come with a free skill point, even before the existing 3 have gained one. All right, you guys need to work harder, I think. So he might as well learn grilling for cooking, even though we don't have a grill yet. But it'll enable him to be able to use the grill once we have it. You want to pet Dirt Rock? Well, for the care packages, we might hope for some better care packages than dirt. We've got plenty of dirt, at least right now. Build some floor tiles here. Calidorn earned a skill point, that's good, and we gained the water cooler. Furniture, that's the water cooler. Do I want to put this up yet? I'm tempted to. Interesting. The other thing that I should have done already, actually, is set up some priorities for the duplicates. So I usually like to say that, oops, that's not the button that I wanted. That everyone is very high on the attacking, because most time you don't need it, but when you do, you really do. Ogling, I like to make everybody very high on, or at least high on. That way they go and do it. Cal's an ugly cry. I didn't even notice that. Good catch. Alright, Calidorn, you can be the... Ooh, that's interesting. When it skips over and under the bottom one. Peps, you are the builder. Phasian, you are the digger, I believe. And Sydney, you are now the full-time researcher. There it is. I'll probably monkey with some of these later. But at least for now, that's what we'll go with. Need to do some planting. Wood seeds. We had 4 seeds. We had 3 seeds. I didn't notice how many we had. Oh, they'll plant more as we get more. Not a big deal. Also put some floor tiles in down here. And that'll also dig up some of this copper, which we do need eventually. Get that one out of the way. I like to leave one space gap here just for airflow. The air does flow up the ladder tiles, but it doesn't seem, at least it didn't used to seem to flow as good as an actual open block. So we probably are going to need another outhouse soonish. I also want to put out the, what's it called? The compost pile. So we're going to put another outpost in here just for, well, giggles. That could be set to right, so they only wash their hands when they're coming out of the bathroom. They don't need to wash their hands going in. You can pick those now. More oxygen up here, and some more oxalate to consume up there. Good that we have 2 decent sized water blocks here, as well as a little bit down there, because we're gonna need the water. In exploring out, you're not gonna find much, if any, water that's not already polluted. Yeah, I had 2 mealwood seeds. Okay, so we're going to, once these 2 grow, or we may dig up more. And we also are growing a couple here. So once these grow, we might get a seed out of them. There's a few up here growing wild, so we'll get a seed out of them. Just kind of a waiting game. Oh, we need more research. We did finish the decor, so we can put some flower pots out. I'm not going to waste any electricity at this point on lamps, but that's okay. Need to find a good zoom level for this. So what do you think we should research next? Don't you want to do liquids and gases before too long? I don't think we need an apothecary yet. We don't need a kiln or rock granulator yet. The advanced research we're not going to need for a little while. You don't need that until you get the 2 research bars. So we've got quite a bit of research before we can get to that. I don't think we need... we want to do this one pretty soon, but not yet. I like to fry the meal mush bars into the mush patties, the fried mush. But we can start with just the mush for now. We need somebody who's skilled in ranching in order to be able to do ranching, so I'm not going to push into that. Oh, I'm actually dropping a lot of frames, so a lot more than I was yesterday anyway. Look at my settings real quick. Yeah, this could be a Twitch thing, because I'm actually dropping about 3 times as many frames as I dropped yesterday during yesterday's stream. That was after dropping my my frame rate down. So there could be some issues at Twitch. And yeah, I'm only doing about 4 megabits per second as my stream rate. Only accomplishing about 3 to 4, and I'm scheduled for 5, so OBS is complaining. And as far as I know, there's nothing else using my connection here, so we should probably do power, I'm thinking, because we're going to need to do... Ooh, interesting. Burns lumber to produce electrical power. Well, I don't know that we have any lumber biomes on this map, but we'll see, I suppose. So my kind of long-term plan is to play one of each of the different worlds. That may not turn into one of each, but I'd like to give some of the other ones a try at some point. So I'm not sure how long this map will go. I would like to at least launch 1 rocket, but I'm not positive how long I'll play this one. I think we'll do power. That seems reasonable. So it sounds like it could be a Twitch thing if it's 3 of us are seeing issues. Is your own still here? See if he's getting issues too. Having issues too. Can clear out some more of this. Definitely need to chase. I wish you could chase the critters out and not just kill them. Like, I wish you could scare them or something them. Get them out of your face. I would like to shoo them all over here to these bristle blossoms so they can provide the illumination that they desperately need. Or down here, that'd be nice. Once I get them there, I could build a door. In fact, I could build a door sooner and then leave the door open until they shuffle off. Yeah, it could be Twitch related. We'll go with that. We'll blame it on Twitch. Still doing good on the calories because we keep finding the muck root, and we don't have enough meal lice to make any lice loaf anyway. Actually, it's the mush bars you can fry, right? So you fry the mush in the electric griddle to make the fried mush. Yeah. So the mush bars aren't so bad once you can do that. I think they come up to 0, which was the same as the lice loaf, so they're not bad to have then. Oh, consumables. I almost forgot. We need to keep them from eating the meal lice raw. Those are fine raw. Nutrient bars are fine. The bristleberries raw. Ooh, there's different medications here too. Handy. So I don't like to let them eat the raw ingredients that you can cook with. I would rather they only eat the cooked food or the muck roots. And the nutrient bars, of course. Alrighty, it is downtime. So I can show that, I suppose. They all have a default schedule. They start their day with bath time. They work for a large chunk of the day. They get 2 day segments, I won't call them hours, as downtime, and then they have 3 sleep cycle. Now remember that one character, I think if we go into vitals, one character did have a, I don't know if it was one we picked or not though, a morning, or a morning person. Yeah. That's the bottom ends here with rocketry stuff. So, computers we could do, but it's like the automation type stuff, so I'm not worried about it. The additional decor would be nice eventually, soonish. Obviously, handling gases and liquids would be good. We don't need these yet. Wherever the air filter is, this one here, the deodorizer, I want to get there fairly soon, so maybe we'll do gases next. Medicine, I'm okay with not having yet. And, yeah, I think the next thing I'll do is gases. I'll eventually want to do meal prep, but I think gases is a good next choice after this one. Floor here as well. Dig some of this junk out so that Phasian doesn't trap himself in. Good, because Peps is building it from underneath. And we got a 3rd mealwood seat, so that's good. As we get more, we can put more planters in here. And dig that muck root up when they can get there. Might not be able to wiggle their way down there yet. Yeah, they can't wiggle their way down there yet. Actually don't need to have that because it's on auto harvest. So once it gets there, they'll pick it. There is no end. Sort of like Factorio, there is no end. You end when you decide that you've accomplished enough. As you probably saw on the home screen, my last game I played well over 1,500 cycles. That was this one. I played 1,200 cycles. I was launching rockets all the time. I had ended up with 14 duplicates. I don't think I lost one, which is pretty handy. Yeah, I've played this one. Say how long I played till? None of these will, just the most recent because of the autosaves show that. I don't see a number of. I don't remember how long I played. Oh, there it is. 35 cycles on this one. 290 on this one. This is my sandbox that doesn't count. Base camp 655, 783. So I kept kind of getting a little bit longer of cycles, or yeah, of maps as I went, and that just went crazy with this one. Like I was launching rockets. I think I got I don't know, about, I think I got to every, maybe not every. I was working on getting to every foreign or every asteroidal body that's in the star map, which we can't see yet because we need a telescope in order to see it. But there are, I don't know, a dozen or so different type, different sized asteroids scattered around that you can eventually fly rockets to. I'm not sure if you can actually kind of escape and win the game with this, though. Yeah, it's not hard to lose dupes at all, as Phasian almost tried to prove. All right, so we got power started. think we said gases next, because I'd like to get to deodorizer before we get too much polluted oxygen around. Because the other things that's going to produce polluted oxygen is compost heap here. But we need one, because we're going to need to clean out the toilets here pretty soon. Ready. And we also need to eventually dig a hole to put our polluted water in. Let's put in a flower pot or two here in the bedroom, just to kind of improve things. And we should be able to plant some briar seeds. These aren't great, but they're something. Build the thing. Pick another bluff briar here. Actually, pick this one. There are several other plants that they added. I think that was all Quality of Life Mark 1. Each one gives you some other... That's interesting. This plant improves decor, but produces high quality of zombie spores. Those don't sound fun. Buddy Bud is just decor. Mirthleaf is decor, but they all have different kind of temperature that they can handle, atmospheres they can handle. But for now, we have to stick with the briar seeds, because that's all we have. Sure. It's kind of broken. I did open it, and when I fired the game back up, I did open it just to see what it looked like. So it's kind of broken because of all the changes they made, like with the skill points. Oops, speaking of skill points, Sydney has earned a skill point, and Phasian has earned a skill point. Peps has not earned any skill points. Peps is a slacker. So let's deal with this here. So Phasian, you wanted to be the miner? Yes. So you need to go into digging. Sydney, you need to go into researching. Because you'll need to be able to use that supercomputer pretty soon. How close is Peps? Peps is getting there. 177 experience points. Yeah, but looking at the 1200 plus one would be kind of fun. Yeah, Spore Child is newer, but yes, the others were QOL one. I agree, because I think I have some implanted in various places in that mega base, that 1200 cycle base. So yeah, we can do a base tour of that. I'm probably going to stream for another 20-25 minutes or so. So once maybe about 20 minutes or so, we can switch to that one. We can talk about that and then go there. Long commutes, traveling between their errands. Well, yeah, that's because they're scattered all over the place right now. It's fine. Yeah, there's no... It's because we're not producing much oxygen because of the oxalite. We don't need to produce a lot of oxygen yet. So you get these kind of warnings, and they end up being kind of false positives. You're already getting some polluted water here, which means polluted oxygen. Yeah, there's already polluted oxygen here. Polluted oxygen is a little bit heavier than oxygen, so it does kind of intermingle. But it will also settle a little bit just above, I think above chlorine, which settles above carbon dioxide. There's kind of a pattern with hydrogen at the top, kind of a pattern of the way that the gases settle. I don't know if it's real life real or not, but we'll go with it. So we earned the gas stuff, or we've researched the gas stuff, the first tier of gas stuff, so we can pick some more research here. We just go ahead and do airflow tiles. Yeah, we should probably do airflow tiles and airlocks. That's not a bad plan. And then Pep's got some skills. Oh, I wonder if we can put the hats on now. Alright, so Peps is doing construction. Can we wear the hats? We should have done that. Sydney, advanced research, calendar, and grilling. There we go. Alright, so now we can wear hats. So somewhere, there they go. Somewhere they will pick up their hats. Peps, that was pretty cool, that animation. Like, what's the Avengers character? Yeah, there's just a few oxalites. There's 2 right here, there's 1 there, and then all this up here. Which, all the oxygen is rising, so I'm going to have to dig another hole down here. Into this vacuum, I think. So we'll go ahead and build a ladder down. That one. I'm just going to dig 2 tiles out. And this will hopefully kind of suck the carbon dioxide down into this vacuum. I'll probably end up putting a vent ladder in here too. Peps is holding his breath. Daisy is holding his breath. So when they get down into unbreathable gases, so basically anything but oxygen and fluid oxygen, they will hold their breath, and once their oxygen or their sort of health bar here gets below a certain point, then they'll run back up to where they can breathe. Hopefully that's going to suck some of that carbon dioxide down. It is already filling with carbon dioxide, so that's good. Wall off here? Kind of already is. Naturally. Oh, you thought this was all connected over here? Yeah, well, there's some more vacuums over here, so as we need to get rid of some more carbon dioxide, we can open into that and suck it all out. I didn't open this up yet either, but the carbon dioxide is settling in here pretty well. One of the things we could do, actually, is put the ration box. Look at what we have for duplicates. I may or may not choose a duplicate this time. But we definitely don't need brine, because we don't have a desalinization unit anyway. We don't necessarily need a machinery person yet. We don't need husbandry yet. A little bit of farming. Quick learner is good for skill points. We don't need another researcher, but we could let this person start doing some farming. I don't necessarily like the small bladder, though. Pet water. They're not pets. Wait till we get a hatch. I think I might pass this time, because I really don't want decreased athletics. I definitely don't want, well, even though it's cooking and doctoring, we don't really need an operator at this point. But I think we'll pass on this and we'll wait for 3 more cycles. And I mean, I could take the brine, but we can't do anything with it, so I'm going to reject it. Just because I don't want to have to deal with it until we can do something with it. Yeah, I don't know. We're not digging that much yet, so. We got the next level of air stuff, or of gas stuff, so we have airflow tile, which is good because then I don't have to leave gaps. Gas valve we won't need, liquid valve we won't need for a while. Interesting, the liquid valve came with the other gas stuff. And the manual airlock will be good once we want to have a place to seal off. So, let me zoom in a little bit here. Probably should get some basic plumbing before too long. We don't need this unless we really want to dig into decontamination, which I don't think we need to dig into decontamination yet. Don't need this yet. We could get this, but we're not really even cooking what we can cook yet, so I don't think we need to worry about that. So far, plumbing is looking like my best option. We could also do this additional artistic expression, which is more decor. But I think I'll do plumbing just so that we can move on with. Oh, it's a zoom. It looks like a net, not a magnifying glass. Alrighty. Plumbing sounds good. Oh yeah, that's true. Operator would be the power generator. But I like when you run on the power generator, Phasian. So that's fine. Yeah, I could do farm tiles, but right now we can't really farm much besides the mealwood. Maybe we'll do that one next. I mean, I assume maybe the farm tiles can grow stuff faster than the planter boxes. Maybe. To grow this. Oh, we should put these doors in. Nope, cancel. Automatic door here. Tile here. Be an airflow tile, but I want to catch them fast. And the airflow tiles aren't super cheap because they take metal, whereas the tiles just take sandstone, so it's kind of a who cares kind of thing. Let's do a priority on those. Built soon. Peps, get over there and build those. Thank you. Oh, Phasian's helping. Good, good, good. Oh, the shine bug snuck out. That's unfortunate. Open. So, this is a trick that I learned from Phasian, who I'm assuming learned it from somewhere else. If somebody can't get to the bathroom fast enough, or if the bathrooms are both full, they will use the bathroom wherever they're standing, including right here. So you want to do, if you do a little bit of a lip, either using a tile or an airflow tile, then the waste can't get beyond that lip. And especially here where the water is, you don't want polluted water in your water supply. Not only because, well, it's gross, but specifically because of the germ overlay. And you can see that this is full of germs. If they went to the bathroom somewhere, there would be all kinds of germs. There's a little bit of germs on that door for some reason. But somebody will come and spray it down eventually. Affecting. So there's now 4 germs. I'm not sure why floral scent is a germ. Oh, allergens. Okay. So they can be allergic to floral stuff. No, jumping up tile doesn't take much time. Zombie spores. Lime lung and food poisoning have been in for a while, and then what the germ source is for that particular. So, obviously the toilets are a germ source. Alrighty, so we now have plumbing. We aren't going to use it yet, but we now have it. So let's do the cooking one, so that we can get the farm tiles that we're not going to use yet either. At this point, you just kind of do the research to keep Sydney busy. And then... because it only really costs dirt and water at this point. So it's kind of a who cares. Or just, is it just dirt? I thought it was water too. Did they change that? And as they're bored, if there's not other jobs for them to do, they'll come around and they'll pick up what's scattered on the floor. Like they'll put away this coal, they're picking up the sandstone that was here. They'll just come around and pick up what's laying on the floor and put it away. I could tell them to sweep if I wanted them to focus in an area, and I'll do that a lot of times in like this populated area if they end up digging out something that we want to be populated, heavily populated. But they're doing a pretty good job so far keeping our paved areas clean, so we'll leave them to it. Ha! You'll get a pet eventually. there are hatches. We're gonna tame the hatches and use them to make coal. Because let's go to the hatch. Let's find a hatch. So hatches eat pretty much everything. I'm gonna get my cursor off there so you can see everything they eat, and they poop out coal. So they eat and they poop coal, which is great for when you are running your base on full power, which we will have to switch to at some point, not unsoon. Alright, good. That guy snuck back in. Put this door back on auto. Somebody toggle it. Oh, it's break time. Doggone it. Oh, so what I was talking about earlier is this ration box. Food, ration box. We can actually build one down here in the carbon dioxide. And the advantage to that is food doesn't spoil in carbon dioxide. It also doesn't spoil in chlorine. So if you keep your food container, even though it's not powered, it's not being refrigerated, if you keep your food container in carbon dioxide or chlorine or maybe something else, then you can keep it from spoiling, which is good. We're down to 9,000 calories, so we better start make a forever mush or a lice loaf. Whatever we can make. We can only make 2 right now. And then I'll just put a few mush bars on the Barbie here. Oh, dig down. Oh, dig over here. Yeah, good idea. It is time. Might need to dig this part out too here. Gotta keep this stuff flowing. Alright, so you can store all cooking ingredients and all edible foods, and then we can deconstruct this one. And then we'll tell them to sweep. Hey Peps, welcome. No problem. You haven't died yet. You are facing trying to die twice. You are our builder. You do have skills in... You have the capability of attacking, of fighting. So we're definitely going to take... This is what I want. We're definitely going to take advantage of that if we need to kill something. But for now, we don't need it. So let's give these guys a high priority sweep errand. Just to pick up the junk. Oh, they already done it. Alright, well, you can pick up that sedimentary rock, too. We finished electric grill, mess table, egg cracker, and farm tile. As far as I know, the only real advantage of the farm tiles over the planter box is that it can grow some additional plants. Oh, it does. So it does accelerate. All right, so we are going to want to switch to these. These are only dirt, so that's good. Let's actually sneak these in underneath where those are. Yes, you have the red shirt, Peps. Let's see. Pause game. Red shirt. We made sure that we picked the guy with the character with the red shirt to be Peps. If none of the initial duplicates would have had a red shirt, you wouldn't have been an initial duplicate. I had to make you the red shirt. We have sort of a greenish, maybe a teal shirt there, a blue shirt there, and that's actually green. So this is more of a teal. And the red shirt Peps. Yeah, you're kind of dressed like Star Trek Original Series uniform character. Is this still broken? Can you put? No, okay, good. Or not good, but good. For a while there, you could plant something in a farm tile and then plant something in a planter box sitting on top of it and grow both. That's good that they got rid of that because, well, that's bad. So once these mealwoods grow all the way, this one I'm actually going to tear up because it's only 27% grown. and it'll be it'll probably grow faster this way than waiting. All right, Hatches, you need to not eat a bunch of junk. No, okay. No, he just ate something. I don't know what he ate, and then he crabbed up some coal there, and then he went to sleep. Excellent. And there he's sleeping in the coal next to his friend over there. He lost a muckroot. I guess I could continue this down. That way they can fish that muckroot out. What do we got? We have some lice loaf made. We have some mush bars made. We're doing okay now in calories. Oh, research. Not paying attention. Okay, we don't need this yet. Oh, it classifies this area as a park. That's new. I would like to eventually do this, but it's going to take advanced research, so we can't do it yet anyway. I will need to do this one soon. There might be additional usage for these that maybe be new. We'll eventually need the rock granulator to make refined metal to start with, but for now, that's fine. Oh, that's interesting, a skill scrubber. So it's like a brainwashing machine. That's handy. Still don't need it. I don't think we need medicine yet. Let's see. Sanitation, we don't need those yet. Mesh tiles or anything there that would be useful right now, but not really. Rust deoxidizer converts rust into oxygen and chlorine. So there is a new rust tile that I did see when I was spawning some random maps. I'm not sure if this map will have it because I don't know what this map's going to entail. But it turns rust into oxygen and chlorine, which is interesting. I would think it would turn rust into oxygen and iron ore. But okay. I could be wrong. My science could be wrong. The electrolyzer we will want soon, kind of soon. We'll need to make a some oxygen with the electrolyzer, but not super soon. We don't need filters yet. That's fine. You want to get into this soon? So maybe we'll just do the artistic expression, and then we can probably do the advanced research, the one that includes the advanced research here, so that we can start working on the tier 3 stuff, because other than maybe force refinement and internal combustion, those are the only other tier 2s that I'm mildly interested in at this point. Yeah, that's where I'm going. It is. At this point, germs are pretty non-existent. The only one we really have to deal with is food poisoning. Slime lung is also out there, but we have to expand into one of the slime biomes before slime lung is really a potential issue. And it's going to be a little while before we're ready to expand out of the dirt biome, let alone into slime biomes. Could put some mess tables down, but until I put it down in mess hall, I'm not that worried about it. Could also put down, god doggone it, the fucking bugs have snuck out again. I wish there was a way you could more easily trap them in the little rooms, but it doesn't appear that you can. Yeah, they do, so you know there's a door there. At least they left the sleeping area for now. Well, Peps is a little irritated by interrupted sleep due to the shine bug flying around. Sorry, Peps, you're not getting good sleep tonight. I think they added that background texture in QOL 1. I vaguely recall seeing it. Could be wrong. Peps, you are going to town on the building. Good job. Alrighty. Well, I think so. We're 9 cycles in. That's a pretty good stretch here. So let's save this, and we'll pull up that previous needy moon base here. So see, yeah, some of my autosaves have been moved into this cycle, or this base now. Let's load up this one so you guys can see, because Sydney wanted to see. Yeah, I will. I eventually will. I also want to probably adjust the room sizes anyway. So, everything that I've built so far is temporary, is very likely to get rearranged. Right? It says oxygen not included, it's not responding. Who knows? Load already. Might be loading. Might be loading. Who knows? Yeah. Ready, here we go. I do that. Phasing, do you remember the shortcut key for the mega zoom? I do not. Alt S? Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. So, as you can see, I've built a lot. And I guess we can just do kind of a quick kind of base tour here. So, here's the sort of inner base here. Everything inside of this purple looking wall here is my inner base. This is my safe zone. This is my clean zone. This is where my duplicants are out of their Atmos suits. When they come in from outside, they drop off their suit here. They are forced, because of the restrictions on these doors, they're forced to come through this chlorine room, which they can't breathe in. But that's fine, because in the chlorine room, they're disinfected, and then they come into the base. These are new. They've been adapted over. They did not look like this. Yeah, they did not look like this. They were different looking sculptures. They've converted over. Yeah, my dupes have earned 305 skill points. So they've converted all the skill system over. So I could actually probably pick this base up and carry on with it. But I'm not going to at this point because I don't remember how anything works. So each room here, let me get through the room overlay. No. Why not? Oh, there we go. I just had to unpause for long enough. The mess hall might be too big now. Yeah, it's 120 tiles. They changed the size. They maxed it out at 64 now. Oh, it should be Great Hall? I may not have enough decor in there. Oh, a light source. Okay. Well, that's interesting because that's new. You used to not have to worry about light. Now they want you to worry about light. So this used to be a Great Hall, but it obviously doesn't work as one anymore. These are the plastic beds. These are the comfy beds. They're made out of plastic, and I think that's the only ingredient that actually goes into them. But they're they give a lot of boost to morale, a lot more than the cots that we're sleeping on now. Rec room is important. Bathrooms are obviously important. I have my showers segregated into a separate room than the bathrooms. Yes, 2 bathrooms here. This is another rec room. I'm not sure why it doesn't count as one. Maybe because of the light source thing. Yeah, because the portal printing pod counts as a light source, which is kind of funny. Alrighty, so let's see. I have a farm or a ranch here, ranching these Drecos. By Drecos spending time in a hydrogen atmosphere, which is what the pink stuff is floating here at the top, they have a greater and greater chance of producing glossy Draco eggs as opposed to the regular white Dracos. The glossy Dracos have the feature of when you shear them in this shearing machine, they produce plastic. Whereas the regular Dracos produce some sort of a cloth that you can use like to make fabric type stuff out of. That's kind of fun. Down here is a bristleberry farm. I use bristleberries the whole game basically. I have a wastewater tank here that all of my toilets and my showers and stuff dump into, and then I have a clean water tank here that they all get their water from. These little machines here, or buildings here, are self-producing oxygen machines. What we'll have to make kind of soon, you know, probably about 50 cycles in or so into our base. We'll probably have to start working on one. It uses an electrolyzer to separate water into oxygen and hydrogen. Hydrogen floats up and is picked up by this gas pump. The oxygen sinks through the airflow house, it's picked up by these two. And then the hydrogen is used as fuel to power this thing initially. Now it's tied into the base's power because I've got so much power. But initially it powers itself just by the input of water. The oxygen is pumped through this room here using these Weesports to cool the oxygen down and the hydrogen gas to help cool it down as well, which cools the oxygen down from a balmy, I don't remember what it is. Balmy, let's see, 38C down to 24C. So it's a little more level. That's one way to keep the temperature cool, is cooling the air and pumping the air into the base. Those Weesports themselves also emit some cold, so you can see I have them scattered around the base, especially down here at the bottom, because this water isn't cold. Actually, it is cold, because I have cold liquid flowing through it. Let's see, plumbing overlay. I have polluted water coming in at 15C, which cools the water down. So there's a lot of things going on to keep this thing cool, and you have to heat. Death is one of the very main sources of death in this game. That polluted water comes from this cool slush geyser that kicks out polluted water at minus 10C. Yeah, some of the mechanics have changed, so we're going to have to fiddle with this some, because I'm not totally certain on some of the mechanics. But the polluted water comes out at minus 10C, and then I'm pumping it into that water supply to keep things cool. I'm also pumping it behind these arrays, which are my power plants. This one happens to be a petroleum generator, which is getting its petroleum by processing crude oil into petroleum. Which I have petroleum that I spilled in different places. There's some floating down here. And so I'm piping some of that cold water through here to keep this cool. The temperature overlays. So blue is cold, green is comfortable, and then as they get into the reds, it gets dangerous. So in the base, I try and keep it green. Some of it's blue, even though it really shouldn't be. I should probably get rid of some of these Weesports and move them around into some of the yellow areas just to kind of keep it cold. I'm not that worried about this area here being cold because it's just keeping the water cold. Which way specifically? Phasing in the cooling stuff? These are natural gas geysers, so they produce an amount of natural gas, and then they fall idle, and then they produce more natural gas, and then they fall idle. But as they produce natural gas, I'm storing it here, and then converting it into power using natural gas generators. I have coal generators here. They're kind of timed to a backup. I don't remember how I did it exactly, but I could look for it. Everything's kind of tiered, so if natural gas is my priority, yeah. I've never done the vacuum in the room thing, but yeah. So I was trying to fiddle with some stuff here with steam. This copper volcano produces a lot of heat, as all volcanoes do. Great, the mechanics of Wii Sports have changed. Fun. Uh, so, but they also produce, you know, a very high temperature, as you can see, almost 230 degrees Celsius, copper. Well, what I was trying to do here is drip some water onto this hot area here where all the hot stuff is to produce steam, which it does. Once it reaches a certain temperature, which is actually doing at this point because it says it's spinning up, the building's deprecated. Fun. So yeah, we can't use this anymore anyway. But I was intending on the steam rising, providing power here, and then getting pumped back down into here, getting the cooler steam pumped back down into here, and then meanwhile cooling the metals here using Weezewarts, and it didn't really work the way that I wanted it to. That was kind of an experiment. What else do we have? Trying to farm some puffs here. It actually works pretty well. What else was I working on? Here is a failed experiment trying to use one of these anti-entropy thermal nullifiers, which is a cooling thing to cool down, I think, chlorine. Yeah, chlorine into liquid chlorine. Because there's a new plant that you can get out in space that thrives on chlorine, and it didn't really work out well. One of the things I like to do eventually is a crap ton of solar panels for power. So I do set those up. These are bunker doors. They're rigged to a sensor, base scanner, that watches for meteor showers. Yeah, I think you still can use the steam engine to erase heat. The space scanners watch for meteor showers. They're rigged up using the automation system to close the bunker doors when when there's a meteor shower incoming. So when that happens, the solar panels stop working. Those are those. And then here are my rockets. They're all still running on petroleum. I was working on a building here that super cools. Oh, this is how they survived. Super cools hydrogen and oxygen into their liquid states. And then I'm starting to use those as. See, why are you not letting me click thing? Maybe they've changed this. I bet you these don't exist anymore. They're not. Yeah, these aren't letting me click on them. So, they probably changed the rocket engines now. Holy cow. Yeah, there's a hydrogen engine now. Oh, no, that was there. So I don't know what I was doing here. Maybe I was just working on using liquid oxidizers. I have no memory of this. I mean, I do have memories of this, but I have no specific memory of this. But anyway, so I was working on super cooling oxygen and hydrogen into their liquids, and using supercoolant, which you can get by going to planets, and it has obviously a very low freezing temperature, so you can use it to cool. And then here's where I was using the steam turbine to erase heat, but now that it's deprecated, who knows how that'll work. But basically, the heat is transferred into steam. The heat from these pipes is transferred into steam via these thermal aqua tuners, which suck the heat. Basically, it's a huge like air conditioning unit, or in reverse, basically the heat pump on the back of a refrigerator. It sucks the heat out of the supercoolant fluid or whatever fluid you're using as the coolant, and emits it into its atmosphere. There's a bit of water so that it makes steam in this room, and then when the steam heats up, it rises into here, and then as it cools, it gets pumped back down into this room. So you kind of have a circular thing. It deletes heat, of course, because it's a little bit cheaty, but it also provides a lot of cooling for this cooling room. This is a molecular forge, which you can use to make supercoolant out of stuff you can get from the other asteroids. and as well as some other stuff. So there's a bunch of cool buildings that we'll get to. Not sure what else to specifically show, but so this base was, you know, I don't know how many weeks worth of work, but obviously 1,200 cycles worth of work. Yeah, yeah. Basically, it's a little bit more a little less micromanagey, I feel, than RimWorld looks and Dwarf Fortress definitely looks. It seems a little more friendly to me, and I like the side view. I think it's a cool way to play this game. So I think that's where we'll leave the stream for today. I don't know, Phasian, were you gonna end up streaming tonight? Did you want a raid? But yeah, so this was, you know, basically 7 months worth of several bases, eventually figuring out how this all needs to work together to make a massive base. So hopefully we get to this point also in the new one. Okay, so Phasian's gonna play some Super Mario Maker, some what's it called? Monster Hunter World something. So we'll raid him as soon as he gets set up. Yeah, you're welcome, Sydney. I'm happy to. This was where kind of the pinnacle of my experience in this game so far. I guess we can nose around. Oh, hey Lana, welcome to the stream. Power. I wanted to look at what they've done with steam. Yeah, so they've got a new steam turbine here, which must be a little bit different. Resin steam from the tiles directly below. Machine's foundation uses it to produce electrical power and outputs water. So it's the similar sized building, but it's just got a different mechanic, so I guess they didn't want to. There we go. So it's basically still the same size, but they've changed the mechanic a little bit of it. So that's fine. You are slated for, so this, I don't know how long you've been watching, but this is a base that I finished playing, or I stopped playing back in the beginning of February, and it's not the base we've already started. We have not gotten anywhere near this far, but I hope to get to somewhere near this point, or at least some of the different features that are in this, because there's a lot of stuff that I did here that I really like, and I hope that all of it's not been destroyed. Hey, Isaac. Welcome. Your first stream where you say something. Isaac is one of my coworkers. Got to catch an Oxygen Not Included stream where nobody's died yet. So I'm already... Have you made it to 9 cycles in O&I before everybody died? Alrighty, wow, this is a active... yeah. An active stream chat tonight. I appreciate everybody coming. Alrighty, Phasian, are you going yet? Let's see. Fresh. Yes. Alright, so we're gonna raid Phasian. He's playing Super Mario Maker, which I was really fascinated with during yesterday's stream. That was really impressive. I really like the concept of that game. So, all right, so we're gonna raid him, and we'll see what's going on in Super Mario Maker in a few minutes. Thanks for coming, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow for some more Factorio. Bye.